Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a first-round pick in 2019 from Ohio State. It's Dwayne Haskins.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So
blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the... And he's going to go down again. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long, and they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time, it yields a safety. So how's that for an interesting way to start this ball game?
First drive of the game, and you go backwards all the way into your own end zone?
Guess it kind of makes you wonder what else we might have in store here in this one. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This is taken at the 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Hey! Go! Now.
It's a second down run with Sanders. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
Down. 60 outlaw. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Go.
Mike's 47. Here we go. Both sevens and Mike. Both sevens.
Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And a big no-no last time. A safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Okay, just like that. Just like that.
They go play action with Haskins. That's complete to Meredith. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Washington. 58 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Gets it to Meredith, complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Mack. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Call it a gain of 4. Leaves him with options here on 2nd and just a yard. On 2nd down, it's Mack. He fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
What we got? 56. Mike, 56. Right there, right there.
Leo.
Get ready. Get ready.
Shoot.
2nd and 10. A quick throw here, that's complete. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
All day, dog.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Hey, Haywood.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Hey, we heavy on the edges. Fair.
Big ass.
Back to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
It's our time. It's our time. Hey, check Mike 47.
2nd and 5. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Miles Boykin, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Touchdown, Washington. Trey Burton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have once again taken the lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Vikings. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hey, echo.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. You must be getting
Rock it. Come.
2nd and 4. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Hey, Sue. Look, squeeze.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Back to throw now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Look at me. Go.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 46 yards. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with the defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Go.
Mike's 47.
Ready.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Now.
Let's see.
Hey, jet.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
On the ready.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Hey, wahoo! Hey, let's get there. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Let's go, baby. They turn up. Let's get that ball. Let's get that ball.
He'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
7. Hey, Sam off. Here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Hey. 36.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On the ground, it's Cook. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Mike 56. Yay, exit.
2nd and 13. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
4-7's the mic.
Hey, Foxtrot.
47 Mike. Mike 47. 47's the mic.
You're out.
Check, 47.
Ready.
They'll set up a throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go long, and hope someone would come free.
80 weapons. Go.
They'll run with Sanders. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
17 yards that time and a Washington first. Haskins and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Redskins with a football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and long. Haskins. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll run on 1st down. Sanders. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Here we go, D. Get it.
They'll set up to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Back to throw here. He's going to rifle. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score defensively. How do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Push him back.
They'll try and throw for it. And it's incomplete. But a flag is down here, so hang on. Let's see what we've got. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now it's Haskins. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Haskins. He's got Burton here. And out across midfield down to the 45. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Haskins to throw. Completes this one to Meredith. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Haskins, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Haskins will throw. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now Haskins to throw it.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus...
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Tack McKinley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offense.
And the pressure gets to him again. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and on the season now that is 9 sacks for him.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Rock it. You can't rock me. Go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
56, right there, 56.
Screen. On the ball. Ready?
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. Gets it to Meredith, complete. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Looking to throw, Haskins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. One final shot for Haskins. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon